Welcome back to the Sure Sales Group Show, episode 51. I'm here with my good friend Jeff Vornadore, founder of Van Allen Homes, one of the premier builders here in Baltimore and the surrounding counties, and one of the only builders that is an expert at doing historic renovations and custom single-family homes. Here on the show, we talk about real estate, sales, negotiation, marketing, entrepreneurship, buying, selling, renting, investing, and what it's taken us to grow from 2 employees to 20, from 30 million in sales to 130 million in sales in the last few years. Thanks for watching. Jeff, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Andrew, been looking forward to this.
Yeah. So Jeff Vornadore, founder of Van Allen Homes, why don't you give everyone a little bit of a history on you, your company, so we can get to know you better?
Sure. Again, appreciate the opportunity. Me and my partner founded the company 2009. Both had extensive experience with the public builders. The big ones traded on Wall Street. The company's doing thousands of homes. Our career paths played out. We were happy with our experience there, but we thought maybe we can do something on our own. Sure. Get out there and put our own personal touch in our business. So that was the late 2000s. Since 09, 010, it's been me and my partner, Rick Vornadore, and we have been doing historic renovations and new ground-up custom single-family homes.
Yeah, so one thing that you need to know about Van Allen Homes is very few people have the level of experience and training that go into working with a big national builder, and these guys are responsible for building, perhaps tens of thousands of homes.
Thousands, yeah.
Tens of thousands.
It's baptism by fire. When you build, my partner's built thousands, I a few hundred. When you've gone through that process so many times, there's very few things that can surprise you. And of course, you gain sort of economies of scale efficiencies, just like anything, just like shooting a free throw or kicking a field goal. Yeah. More and more repetition is good for honing your craft. So that was a wonderful experience. And we apply that now to our business model now, whether it be a historic renovation, running the proper schedule, running the critical path, a ground-up single-family construction. How have we managed this in the past in the most efficient way to not only create a lower cost basis, but then present value in the finished product, which is one of our main things. Control the process, control the budget, use the best materials, but in an efficient manner. Hyper manage your subs. Both me and my partner walk every house every day, and at the end we have a product that we like to think presents value to our customer.
Yeah, the control you guys have over the process is something I've learned a lot about just being involved. Right. I purchased a home from Van Allen Homes in 2010, historic renovation, never had a problem. It looks as good today as it did in 2010. I'm not just blowing smoke because it's been a great rental property for me. But I want to hit on a couple things. The history and experience is something that I want to revisit. These guys don't just build townhomes in the city. They've built, Jeff, you built 16-unit apartment buildings, right. Tons of single-family homes, tons of townhomes in right. Baltimore City, in the surrounding counties. Right. So not many people have that depth of experience. Talk to us a little bit on the historic renovation front. You guys are kind of known right. in the city for being a premier chap builder.
Yeah. We saw just as a market opportunity after the major upheaval of 06, 07, there was demand for renovated houses in some of the core neighborhoods of Baltimore City, Federal Hill, Locust Point, Canton. So we got heavily involved again in the late 2000s. And again, you sort of figure out what works right on the first few, learn those processes, and start applying it house after house. What subcontractor did a good job here? What material didn't work in this instance? And then, you keep the house file, keep all your records, obviously, and you streamline things and create efficiencies. The historic renovations are most challenging in a sense. Every little home can be different. You're very familiar with the CHAP process. There's a pre-inspection by the CHAP and then a post-inspection. Different historic features have to be kept. Some have to be replicated, very custom. And we consider ourselves fortunate to get to a number like 100. We've sort of seen it all now.
100 chaps?
100 chaps completed, yes.
Over 100 chap renovations completed. So if I was a buyer and I'm thinking about looking at some chap homes, I'd like right. to say, hey, who's done it a couple times? How am I going to make sure I get my tax credit? And then, of course, the quality of construction,
Right.
which is mainly derived from knowing the right subcontractors,
Yes,
and
very
then
important.
managing them.
Managing the management's the most important thing. Anyone can build a house, especially with an unlimited budget. You could hire the most expensive, very qualified subcontractors, which is very important. But it's important to run it on a efficient schedule and budget to have a presentable product that's affordable to your customer. Right. Very important. And we achieve that by what we like to think, hyper management. Both principals, me and my partner, in the field every day at the houses. I couldn't sleep at night if I wasn't at every house every day. That's the only way we think, in our circumstance, can manage the properties to, again, get to what we're talking about, a value product managed efficiently and properly at the end for the customer.
And I can attest that they do that. Van Allen Homes is one of Sure Sales Group's biggest clients, and if the lockbox isn't on, if the sign doesn't look good, if there's no brochures left, Jeff's going to call and text from about 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. until it's done, which I love that you guys do that, because that means, hey, you guys are on our team, we want to sell this house.
Yeah, we consider you our partners, as you know. So you're a very important part of the process. You're our sales team, and we appreciate every house we get to work with you on.
So they've done 100 CHAP renovations. They do the hyper management. They deliver a good product. And Brandon, just throw up some B-roll of some of the houses they've done. We probably have thousands of pictures of finished product that Van Allen Homes has finished. Let's talk about the single-family homes, because a lot of people don't realize there's a major difference. One,
Absolutely.
purchasing a lot,
Yeah.
and it's a totally different process with a lot more selection, a lot more choice.
Right.
But there's also a lot of things are the same. Hyper management, bringing value through a controlled process. So maybe hit them with this, because you mentioned the critical path.
Right.
I was also trained with a big national builder. One thing I really took away from it was there's a right way to build a house if you're going to build a quality product in the most affordable manner, which allows you to pass on value to your
End user value.
Right. So talk a little bit about the critical path, because half these guys, I'm in all these renovations, they're kind of all over the place.
Right.
They're putting in the appliances, then they're painting, and when's the hardwood going in? Van Allen Homes does it in a manner that they've learned from doing it thousands and thousands of times the right way.
So the critical path is a sort of a coin term, not by us, but some of the larger public builders who, again, build maybe even 100,000 houses a year, tens of thousands of houses. And it is a set schedule you follow from stakeout, we're talking single family homes, from stakeout to final cleaning, power wash in the exterior. You follow the critical path. Some things intuitive in the path create savings. Putting the hardwood in at the proper time to avoid damage. Having a few rounds of drywall in the finishing aspect to create a less heavy final checkout is another example. Examples like that go on, that hanging your drywall, then perhaps putting the siding on to avoid nail pops in the home if you have a siding application. There's certain things that the public builders and other large volume builders have figured out that we adhere to. And again, it creates efficiencies, which at the end allow us to present some value, what we think is value, to the customer. So the critical path is something, one of the first things you try to learn as a builder. And not every, like you mentioned, remodeler or builder seems to follow it, but it's something we didn't pioneer, but that we believe in. I just can't stress, in my humble opinion, I think some builders get in trouble when they try to remove themselves from the site. Right. We are just, that's where we are. We want to be on site, seeing things for ourselves, managing the critical path so we know it's being done properly.
Well, yeah, you guys care. That's why your finished product always looks so good.
We like to think so.
Well, yeah, and you guys stand behind your product, which I know I've appreciated,
Right.
and many people who have bought Van Allen homes. There's hundreds of people living downtown who are living in a Van Allen home, and I know they're all happy. One thing I want to mention before we drive home value, because one thing that Jeff and his partner have always done and have kind of bestowed on us is how do we not only deliver real value, but articulate it and get the customers involved so we can show them that. It's hard to show it. You have to prove it. You have to put your money where your mouth is. In my experiences with Van Allen Homes, my personal home that's to be built, talk about the professional showrooms you guys use. One thing that I've found very impressive is this is a builder that has the knowledge of, the Fortune 500 builders, but they bring it to you in a package here in Maryland, not just in Baltimore City, any of the surrounding counties. If you want a high quality finished product that's not going to completely blow up a budget and still be super quality, Van Allen Homes has it, and it's through decades of relationships with the right subcontractors. But what I like, because I don't really care about, hey, you know the plumber really well. Cool.
No.
We're going to give you a good price. What I like is the showrooms.
Right.
They have the best professional showrooms for flooring, siding, roofing, appliances, all the stuff that the consumer wants and what my wife wants.
The finishes. The finishes. What when you turn on your favorite home improvement show or flip through your magazine, you're seeing the finishes. It's like the seats in the car or the wheels on the car. It's it's the wow factor. The finishes are what most customers are looking for or get excited about, I should say. The critical path covers the bones, right? And you made a good point, especially with our custom single family homes. We have the ability, we have a architect, you could modify your plans, create brand new plans. You could see previously finished product just to get an idea of what size house do I want. And then even on the exterior, I remember me and you talking about it. I go, Andrew, you should go with a hip roof, not just a standard gable roof.
Right.
And you didn't know what a hip roof was, but after seeing pictures of it, you go, oh my, of course I want a hip roof.
My, of course. I think I said that. Well, my, of course. You're not going to give me one of these basic ass roofs, are you? So that's the other thing. You guys are able to consult on because you've seen them all.
And then even major exterior themes, and I'll get to the interior. Brick, stone has transitioned to becoming very popular opposed to brick. Siding is now in competition with a hardy finish or another cementitious siding. We have the vendors that supply that, the different selections. We're well aware of the most popular trends. Getting into the inside of the home, our customers go to professional showrooms with samples and, like you mentioned, decades of experience. Also what we do, options come up. Customer may want to go from granite to quartz. A customer may want to go from ceramic to porcelain. We don't like to just give allowances or pull open a house file and see what something else costs. We like to put in the effort to size the home, go off the plan, or actually field measure. We literally get the quote from the vendor for what they selected, ceramic A, ceramic B, so we know the exact delta of what the customer may upgrade to. Again, not to sound like a broken horse, value. Right. We're not just giving some out of the realm number that may be highly inflated. It's an exact quantified number that, again, at the finish line, they got some value in that option. So every aspect, paint colors, balusters. In these large single-family homes, you get large stair systems. You can do different newel posts. You can put a flare on your stairs. You can do curved stairs. Trim's very important. Do we want 1x6 base? Do we want Adams case and windows? We have different examples of that. The vendors can provide materials and pictures of it, and then we can execute that in the field.
Brandon, right while he was discussing that, I want to show up some pictures of 703 Hillstead that we just sold for $1 million in Lutherville, Timonium. An amazing house. So it goes to show they can build the most high-end, custom, single-family homes and just do a historic renovation. And again, that's very rare. So when we're driving home value, the fact that it goes back to the decades of relationships with subcontractors, following the critical path, and still allowing the customer to be as involved as they want to, picking every selection. It's been a real pleasure working with you guys for the past, 10 years?
10 years, I know. We're dating ourselves a little bit.
So if you ever have an opportunity to see a Van Allen banner, or if you want to see one of their homes, whether it's in the county or in the city, give us a call. Call Jeff. He's down here every day riding around in his pickup truck.
And now I'm in Hunt Valley too, Lutherville, White Marsh. We have locations throughout the counties, and usually there's a shore banner or shore sign right there with the house, and we appreciate the relationship.
I want you to look at this. I keep this as my desk here. They have a house on Bolden right now, a house on Battery in Federal Hill, a house on Clinton Street in Canton. Northwood and Cinder are two brand new homes coming up in Lutherville. Hillstead we just sold for $1 million, and we just put a sign up on East McPhail Road in Bel Air, Maryland, right on Maryland Golf and Country Club. So, Jeff, give them a final parting word on when should they contact you if they have a lot, if they have a land, if they have a home to sell, if they're looking for a home.
Shore Group is our valued sales partner, but certainly if you're a customer looking to renovate your home in the downtown neighborhoods of Baltimore, or looking for a lot or even own a lot in Baltimore County, Harford County, feel free to give us a call. We're on Facebook. We have a website. We're linked with Shore. And you will reach me or my partner, Rick, and we'll just go from there about the details. Usually we have finished product very similar. We can tour you and just get a sense of what that particular lot or renovated shell may look like.
Awesome. An asterisk, they can build anything. So take a floor plan, like what I did,
Right.
and they say, could you build this? And the answer is yes. So if you have something in mind, they can deliver on it, and the value will be there. It's going to be high quality with a reasonable cost, tons of value.
Critical path.
Follow the critical path.
Hyper
Hey, thanks so
management.
much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
See you next time.
See you next time.
All right, so Jeff, it's a signature.
Right.
On the Sure Sales Group show. I can't let you leave without
Okay.
giving us some
Hey, you're the
by way.
boss.
So why don't you look at the camera and just give them a parting thought.
Oh, by the way, Andrew, we appreciated the opportunity for all our customers and people in Baltimore interested in real estate. If you have a home you own in Baltimore City, or a lot or an older home in Baltimore County, Harford County, give us a call. We'd be certainly happy to discuss selling your home, buying a home, or just giving general advice on what your home might be worth.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks so much, Jeff.
Thanks again, Andrew.